Why is the market dumping this much? Okay, so we've been seeing the market going all the way to the downside around this very area. That was on Thursday. But when we see the market begin to have aggressive dump all the way downward, okay, market retrace a little bit and then market is coming back down again right now. I'm going to show you my perspective on price action, Bitcoin, ETH, Pi, Blum, Solana, SUI, all of these in this very video. But the first thing is, on Wednesday last week, we saw the Fed interest rate. So the Fed kept interest rate unchanged. That is between 4.25 and 4.50 basic points. Okay, and when they did that, the market reacted to that very interesting decision. Market come back down a little bit, move upward, and then from this very point on Thursday, market begin to come back down, reacting or responding to that very interest rate. Not only that, market came to this very area, and then on the 1st of August, another thing spice the market up and bring the market all the way to the downside. That was the tariff. I know some persons don't know this, but President Trump increased tariff on certain countries, except the EU and China. There are other countries like India and Canada that a lot of new tariffs were announced. So the market also come back down. We have this retracement, come back down again, and then we saw this move yesterday. And right now, what the market is doing is coming back down. So what next for the market? So two important things that is causing this very move. The first and the most important one is the fact that that very interest rate decision was not favorable for the market. Very important. Is part of what is bringing the market back down. Then secondly is the tariff. These are the two most important things causing the market to come back down right now. And some person are also talking about the fact that the President Trump ordering 2 nuclear submarines to reposition based on the Russia-Ukraine war is also fearing this very dump to the downside. However, in my opinion, the most two important thing is the Fed interest rate decision that was kept unchanged and the tariff. So what next for the market from here? If you look at this very area, market come to this very point where the market paused and then market begin to come back down again from here. And my expectation is that if we go below this very point, okay, this was the last bear drop before this little retracement. So if we go below here, I'm expecting market to drop below $110,000. What that means is if your liquidation, if you take a trade on futures or you took a trade on futures and your liquidation is just around 110 around this area or around somewhere around 108 around this area, you are already at risk of liquidation because market can just spike and begin to move upward. And that is very important. And that is why you don't always want to take trade on futures, especially long-term trade, and don't put money that you can't afford to lose right here because market can do anything. And this is very, very important. So what I'm expecting right now is for the market to come back down and we should see the market come into the 110 area. That is my personal opinion right now on this very price action, because if you look at it, market move upward, come back down, wanted to move upward but could not, and we are already in the week. This is not weekend. If market drop in the week, it's always very bad than when market drop during weekends and the market come back down. So right now, if we break here, market should come into this very area of 110, okay, a little bit into 110 and 108. Once we see that, market is going to begin to move upward. I don't expect a severe drop below 100K. I see a lot of prediction out there talking about market going below $100,000. That possibility is there, but for me, that would be a very crazy drop on Bitcoin, and that is going to set us back a lot more, okay, a lot more. Where the market is right now is very quick for the market to just recover and enter into the 116, 117k dollars, and even go below and even go above 120. And that is why I am not expecting the market to drop that aggressive below the 108 level. Market should come back down, and then we should see a recovery to the upside. Of course, if you look at this very price action structure, it is covered that this very move, market move, fail to create a new high, come back down, did not create a new low, move, create a new low, lower than the previous low right here, and then market move, so continuation downward. And then I believe also that this is the final leg, okay, of this very move coming in right now. Pay attention. I believe from what I am seeing on price action that this very move coming in right now from here all the way to the downside is a final leg, and it's not going to be that much all the way downward. Market is going to recover very fast and begin to move upward. This is what you need to pay attention to if you really want to be in the right direction of the market. And if you come to ETH, it is covered that ETH have made significant recovery. Okay, market dump all the way from here. This was a very significant huge dump from 3,867 within this very area, and then come all the way downward during the weekend. And then yesterday we see market recover. Okay, this recovery happened. Market come into the $3,700 level, and right now what next? Market is going to come back down. Okay, market should come back down, approaching this area again before the next move to the upside. And that is what I am expecting. I am expecting market to come into this very zone on ETH. That is a possibility for me right now. Market should come down into this very area, and then from here we should see a little bit of drop for liquidity collection. So don't panic out. If you see the market come back down into this area and then drop a little bit downward, I think that is liquidity grab. Market is going to begin to move faster all the way to the upside. Why? Because this very retracement was very significant on ETH compared to BTC. So market should come back down into this area, and then we should see recovery on ETH. Pay attention to this. It's very important for you to know that market is going to stay dumb, especially if this candle forming right now close bearish, as we are seeing right here. Market is going to come back down before the final recovery on ETH. If the market break here finally with a significant bearish candle and go below $3,100, that will be very bad for the market, because market is going to begin to dump more, and I'll be doing further analysis to keep you updated on this very channel. So this is important, guys. Pay attention to this. And if you look at Blum have been stuck at a single position. Okay, market has been dumping downward, but you see that Blum have maintained a steady move within this very area of 0.043 within this very area, and within this very area of 0.049. So this is a significant boundary that market needs to break for any next move to the upside. So this very area, very important point to take note of. And this very area, this is very important point as well to take note of. Markets have more capability of breaking either side. And of course, you know that this is a descending rectangular pattern. What that means is, if market is coming back down and we see this descending triangle at this very area, market can break out here in favor of the downward trend and continue the movement all the way to the downside. And this is what you must have to keep your eye on as well to be in the right direction of the market right now. So what I'm expecting on the price of Blum is for market to break here 30%. Market is going to break and move upward, and 70% market is going to break and move downward. So pay attention to markets have this continuation to the downside, very high, 70% chance market is going to break here and move all the way to the downside, because this is a bearish rectangular pattern appearing on the chart right now. Pay attention to this if you are trading Blum right away. And if you look at Pi also maintained a steady move. Pi did not really drop that much. Okay, market drop back down, and then we see this move upward, market come back down. So what next? Market is going to move downward. That is my stake on the price of Pi right here, market should come back down. Look at it. Market is going to break out with this very candle right here. Once we see that breakout and we see the market go below here, this very price level, and this candle that is forming right now close below every other close within this very area. Once we see a close of this candle and that close below every other close within this very area, what that means is market is going to continue from this very point downward and then coming into the 0.30 and 0.29 level before the next move to the upside for correction, then market continuation to the downside. This is very, very important on Pi. Don't pay deaf ears to these guys. Very important for you to be in the right direction of the market. Not only that, for you to know what is going on in the market and be taking the right decision or the right step. So expect the market to come back down if we see the market close below every other close within this very area. Of course, the candle is still forming right now. As at the recording of this very video, what that means is after the close of the candle, I am on the 4-hour chart, Pi USDT, market is going to come back down, okay? And then retracement and the continuation all the way to the downside. Very important. And if you look at the price of SUI, you discover that this very candle is very scary, very, very scary candle right now. So market is going to come back down in my opinion, because if you look at this very move, market did not really come all the way upward for retracement. Look at the first move right here, market moved downward, and then we see the retracement move down, retrace. But one thing about this retracement is that this retracement took longer to form compared to this. So we were saying that market for the BAs were very strong here compared to this very area. What that also means, considering this momentum on the price of SUI, is that for the fact that we see a little bit of retracement here for a very short period and the market continue, and for this area we see a longer retracement, it also means market can come back down. That's what I'm expecting, and then collect liquidity within this very area of 3.00, okay, and into this very 2.9, and then the final move upward. That is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting final move on altcoins. That is the final drop, creating new lows, shake some people out, and then begin to move all the way to the upside. That is what I am expecting right now this week. And from next week, probably late this week, but from next week, I want to see recovery on the price of Bitcoin and on the price of a lot of altcoins. This is my personal opinion. Okay, this may go contrary to what you are looking at personally and what other people are talking about on various platforms. But for me, what I'm expecting is that this very week, we should see the market shake a lot of people out, possibly, okay, market go back down, shake people out, and then make a final turn all the way to the upside. And this is my personal opinion, because it may not happen as well. Market can come back down all the way, but expect market to come back down, collect liquidity, and then begin to move upward. And next week, upper week, we should see the market begin to make significant move. This is my personal opinion on the market right now, and this is SUI USDT 4-hour chart. And if you come to coin market cap, you discover that the global crypto market cap have dropped significantly from $3.9697 trillion to $3.69 trillion, which is a significant drop. We can see it is very obvious. And the altcoin index have shifted a little bit to 42 over 100. We need to see this do more, especially to 60 over 100 and 70 over 100 to see aggressive pump in the market. I'm looking at the least 60 over 100 for some altcoins and meme token begin to pump upward, especially for meme token, for them to pump aggressively, where you can see 100%, 200%, 500% in a day move. Then the altcoin index need to be between 70 over 100, and this is my personal opinion, okay, 70 over 100 for that crazy move upward. So this is what I am looking at right now on these various charts. And look at the fear and greed index sitting right now at a neutral position of 55. We need to see this go back to greed for the market to be in the green zone. So these are all my personal opinion, guys, on price action right now. Very devastating for Bitcoin, coming all the way to the downside with this aggressive candle. Market is going to come back down to grab liquidity, and the market is going to begin to move upward as well. And on ETH, Blum, Pi, and SUI, pay attention to all of these to be in the right direction of the market. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for all that crypto content. Join our Telegram channel for more updates, signal, on-chain data, and many more. Link below in the description and also in the pinned comment. It is a free Telegram channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.